What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you pictures of different characters from the show, and I want you to give me your impressions of them just based on a picture.
Okay.
What I also want you to do is guess what their superpower is. And just so you know, in this world, people have decided to call superpowers quirks. It's what someone's quirk or quirks is. Okay. And I also, because I have a few villains thrown in, I want you to guess whether you think the person's a hero or a villain.
Okay, so do you want me to start out and say what kind of a character I think it is, or what kind of superpower, or what do you want me? What order do you want me?
I don't think it really matters. I think that you can do it in that order, or if that's not what comes to you, I don't really think that in and of itself matters. So this is our first. Oh yeah, and I have them in a somewhat random order.
Okay.
So this is first one.
Okay. He is a hero. His superpower is super strength. He can punch things with very strong force, and it's also a little doofy in personality. So sometimes he clumsily does things and causes problems even though he thinks he's helping.
Okay. And because if I were you, I would want to actually know who the character is after I say that. I'm going to explain them as well. So this is Izuku Midoriya, also known as Deku. And let's just be real. Most people call him by his hero name Deku because it's easier to say. He is the protagonist, actually. His quirk is one for all. And what does that mean? You were right. He has super strength. But it also enhances some of his other abilities, like his speed, agility, and yeah, the most noticeable one is his strength. His personality, he's really sweet, but he is smart, but I would say he's a very awkward person.
So he's doofy.
Maybe. He's nerdy and geeky. Yes. And he injures himself a lot. So, I don't know if I would say he causes problems for other people, but he's notorious for breaking his bones and always getting sent to the infirmary. This is our second character.
Clearly a villain. A very dark, brooding personality. Someone who can cast shadows and master darkness. He is always looking to cause a problem, but get away with it.
Okay. This is Shoto Todoroki. He is actually a hero. His hero name is just Shoto because when they were picking hero names, he didn't want to pick a hero name. So he's just like, just call me by my name. He doesn't, I don't know if he just wasn't creative enough to think of one or if he just thinks it's stupid. I'm not sure. His power is actually half hot, half cold. With his left side, he can control fire. And with his right side, he controls ice. The one thing that you got right, because that was all wrong, except for the dark and brooding personality. He's one of those characters who has a tragic past. So he's the brooding type. He's very serious. Yeah, but he's good.
Hero, kind of the leader, a very boring, intelligent guy. His superpowers are super speed and also excellent at martial arts.
I think the reason that you're somewhat good at this is probably because you're a comic book geek. And this is basically a comic book anime. So I think that's why you're good at this. That was relatively close. His name is Tenya Ida, and his hero name is Ingenium. He actually inherited that from his brother because he comes from a family of superheroes. Like his brother was a hero, and his brother got badly injured and was no longer able to be a hero. And so he took his brother's name. His superpower, his quirk, is super speed. And I would say he's relatively good at hand-to-hand combat and is working to improve that. When you said he's a leader, well, he is the class representative, like the class president. So yes, he is the leader. And he's very intelligent, very nerdy. He needs to learn how to relax. This person doesn't know how to relax at all. Even though you said he's kind of boring, which he can be, I also want you to think, this guy is like an over-exaggerated version of my personality. So, like, you know how I'm all like, we have to follow the rules because the rules are there for a reason. And they're all like, I'm very, like, principled. Like, so that's this guy.
So he's a rule Nazi.
Yes. He's like an over-exaggerated version of me. Okay. All right. I just want to show you how his quirk works. He has car engines in his legs. So this is a very, very weird show. Oh, yeah. I guess I should point out the fact that, first of all, you got it right. I just wanted to show how he's fast because it's weird. Some of the quirks in this show are your standard superpowers, and then other ones are very creative. Okay. So,
all right.
We'll see. Who do you think this dude is?
Oh, definitely a villain. Control over the dead, can kind of suck the life force out of things. A prankster, though. Always looking to undo good things. No friends, but somebody who wants to belong.
This is Tomura Shigaraki, and his villain name, most of the villains don't have villain names. He's just Tomura Shigaraki. And his quirk is decay. If he like I think how it works is if he like wraps his whole arm around you, he can start causing your flesh and bones and everything to decay. So don't let him touch you, especially not with the whole hand for too long. That's how he can kill people that way. And something really freaky about this is that he actually wears some of the severed hands of his victims. Like, he had them embalmed, and so these are like dead people's hands. So even though I can't say he actually controls the dead, I mean, he has a connection to dead things. He's creepy.
So he has a dead hand necklace?
I don't even know if I'd say it's a necklace. I think it's just a hand that he has wrapped around his neck in that picture. Yeah. I don't think he has friends. I mean, he has people, he's in charge of the League of Villains, but I wouldn't say they're friends. He just kind of bosses them around. And his main goal seems to be to kill the number one hero. I'm not going to tell you who that is. He just likes to kill things and cause disorder generally and undo good things, like you said. He's like a maniac, and he enjoys killing things he doesn't like.
Hero, but a wise ass. Someone's always like has the cutting joke or snarky comment. He has as his superpower the ability to create sonic booms, like sound blasts. And he always thinks he's the cool one, although other people don't.
This is Denki Kaminari. His quirk, right, I put hero name first. He's Charge Bolt. His power is over electricity, and that's why he has the lightning bolt in his hair. His quirk is electrification, that's what they call it. And I think it's interesting, though, that you said Sonic Boom, because while that's not this character, there is another character within the show where being really loud is his power, but that's not this one. And yeah, I'd say he's like kind of a goofy guy. Like, he cracks jokes. He thinks he's pretty cool, but maybe other people don't think so. Yeah. I wouldn't say that was too far off.
Not doing too badly so
far.
All
right. Who do you think this guy is?
Villain. Somebody who controls storms.
Okay.
Always angry. And someone who wanted to be a hero but wasn't allowed to be a hero, so he's resentful.
That is not right, but I think at the end of this, because it'll impact something I had about one of the other characters on here, so I can't tell you why I found that comment very interesting, but that was a very interesting comment. Okay, so this is Shota Aizawa. He is actually a hero. His hero name, Eraserhead, and his quirk, Erasure. What does that mean? By looking at people, he can take away their superpowers. And so, since his quirk isn't inherently a combative quirk, he's also like a master at hand-to-hand combat. Mm-hmm. And he has like this weird capture weapon scarf thing. No one really seems to know how it moves. Like, if that's not part of his quirk, how does he control it? But I don't know.
But is that what sucks away your powers? Or
no, he looks at you. Okay. No, the capture weapon that's like, he uses it to restrain villains and to like trip them up and stuff. Mm-hmm. He wears those goggles to disorient so that the villains don't know exactly who he's looking at, so it can catch them off guard, because if you don't know whether he's looking at you or not. Angry all the time? I mean, he's not a happy person, I'd say that. He doesn't smile a lot. Like, he hardly ever smiles. He'd be a bit grumpy. The thing about this guy is, he's exhausted all the time. He's always tired.
So he wants to sleep like your brother all the time.
Yes. Yes. He wants to sleep all the time because he does hero patrols at night, and he is actually one of the characters, one of the pro heroes in this show who trains the teenagers wanting to become heroes. So he is a teacher, like he trains superheroes. So I can see why he doesn't really have a lot of time to sleep, because he's working a lot. And so he's actually notorious for whenever he's not doing something, he will just take a nap. Like, he's a grown-ass man, but he will just lie down on the floor in his sleeping bag.
So he gets drained very easily by what he does, or he's just lazy.
I wouldn't say he's lazy. I just think he's like doesn't get enough sleep at night.
Okay.
So like I just want to show you a picture of him in his sleeping bag, because he's weird. He's a really weird man.
It's a caterpillar man.
Yeah, he's a caterpillar. All right, that was him. Oh yeah, he's also notorious for looking a mess. Like, all the time, because he looks a mess. All right, this is our next character.
Villain can read minds. The mastermind doesn't get along well with anybody.
Okay.
Just mean.
Okay. This is Bakugo, or Katsuki Bakugo. And he's mean. But he's enrolled in the hero course. I would say he's more of an anti-hero, though. He's technically not a villain, but he's very mean. He actually bullies the main character, Izuku. And he's not really nice to anybody, except for his one friend. He's not a mental quirk. To explain the hero name, he wanted to pick that as his hero name, but they wouldn't let him. So now he doesn't have a hero name, because they said he couldn't have murder in his hero name. He's very, very violent and has anger issues, and his quirk is explosion. He can create explosions, like bomb blasts. And it's interesting how it works. It's like he sweats nitroglycerin, I think, and he blows people up with his sweat.
Do not hug this man after a workout.
What?
Do not hug this man after a workout.
No, I don't think anybody should hug Bakugo. I think Bakugo would be really mad, because he's just always angry.
Hero, her superpower is invisibility. And she can talk to animals.
So you think she's a Disney princess?
Yes, basically.
This is actually Himiko Toga, and she is a villain. She looks very cute, but she's insane. She's crazy and violent. And her quirk is transform. She can take on the forms of other people. So like she morphs into other people. And she has a habit of how do I explain this? Like, she'll fall in love with someone and become absolutely obsessed with that person to the point of being really creepy and stalking them. but she's also evil and messed up.
Mhm.
And so she will, she's not against hurting the person, even though that's not an okay thing to do. And she, poor Izuku is like, she bothers him.
So someone to be very careful about.
Yeah, she's actually a character who falls under the trope from Japanese media of yandere, who they seem really sweet and nice. Like, you thought she was a hero at first, but they're actually insane,
Mhm.
especially when they are interested in somebody, and they will probably. I mean, yanderes have very obsessive, unhealthy behavior, and oftentimes they will kill people that they're jealous of.
Mhm.